World Cup Chronicles it is, and that is the time with, of course, Veda Krishnamurthy, who, of course, has been with us throughout this Women's World Cup, and it's been a fascinating campaign. There's been ebbs and flows like every campaign, really. And let's just get Veda on screen right now. Veda, first and foremost, thanks for joining us once again. How was your match earlier today?
It was a good game. We're having our selection matches. Finally, we're playing some domestic cricket next month. So, really looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Now we'll leave that there, but there's more greater things to talk about. No disrespect to you in terms of the Indian women's cricket team, because look, they comprehensively beat Bangladesh, and now they have that last group game against South Africa, which it all comes down to, really. Are you feeling confident about that particular clash?
Well, it's a bit of a deja vu, isn't it? Last time it was the same thing when we were playing the New Zealand team in the 17 World Cup where we had to win. It was like, it's literally like a quarterfinals now. It's very important that the Indian team have to win. There was a scenario had the West Indies lost today. Things would have been a little easier, but it looks tough. South Africa's had a good run. They've been a better squad in the World Cup. They've done well against India, but when under pressure, we always come well, and we do really well. So I'm just hoping that everything works for us on the big day.
Yeah, and it is going to be a big day, and it's going to be something which is testing time for these Indian women cricketers out there, and they've proved their mettle over the years. So let's see if this kind of goes through with it. Now, few things to ask you about this match. First and foremost, South Africa can't finish top of the table. Neither they can finish fourth. So who will they want to face in the semi-finals, Veda? Will they want to face India? Will they want to face England? How do you think they will see it first and foremost?
Well, if it is England third and India four, it's a repeat of the semi-finals from this 2017 World Cup. So that's interesting as well. We heard in the match, the post-match presentation when Marizon was talking, she said it's a bit of a revenge. All of us had this semi-final loss in our head, and it's good to be on the right side today. So it looks like that rivalry can carry forward, and Australia obviously is been troubled only by India. So it would be like, okay, they would be wondering like if India comes in the semifinals, what we're going to do. So it'll be really fun. I really don't think so. What's going to happen, because England pretty much looks comfortable at this point. They have a Bangladesh game, and their net run rate is better than India at the moment, and eventually will get better after the game. So I think India shouldn't think about net run rate, whether they're going to place third or fourth. They just needs to look at winning and making it to the semi-final at this point. They really shouldn't break their head over net run rate.
Yeah, it's almost like a virtual pre-quarter final, and it starts right here for the Indian team. If they can win these three games, they'll be really champions of the world. But let's talk about England a little bit, because no one really gave them a chance to come back into the scheme of things, but the fixtures have kind of worked out well for them. Do you think South Africa will want to avoid England, even though they beat them earlier in the tournament? How would they kind of look at England as a contender?
Well, they really can't do anything about it at this point. For them, it would just be about keeping that momentum going, and how they would take it forward in the semi-finals. They don't want the momentum to go on the other side, because cricket is really funny, and people do say it, cricket is a funny game, and it really is. When momentum shifts, it shifts so drastically. It's pretty difficult to come back after that. So it just kind of gets really annoying. So I'm sure they don't want to be in that spot at this time. And whether it's going to be England or India, I don't think so. They should think about it at any point, because you really can't do anything much about it, right? Like, you cannot win and go one number up the table to avoid someone at this point. So they just have to make sure that they keep working on their things and keep that momentum going on for them.
Right now, of course, India, South Africa, they met in a bilateral series not too long ago, and South Africa came out winners in that. But just looking at that particular clash, Veda, where are the danger signs for India in that one? Because Laura Wolfart has been in fantastic form with a bat in hand. There's, of course, Madison Cap, who's been taking wickets for fun. Uh, will they be resting any players? More importantly, will India kind of also experiment, or do you think they will stop their strongest 11?
I don't think so. This is the time for them to experiment anything. It's not a bilateral series. It's a World Cup game.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would want to experiment anybody. And plus, at the same time, playing a World Cup, what happens is it gives you enough time for the players to recover. They haven't had a full game today, so I'm sure their bowlers are fresh because they have not gone into bat. Plus, at the same time, there's still a couple of days for them to recover and get back. And resting someone at that juncture would be like semifinals is literally a week away. So you don't want so much gap in between for a player to get into that match rhythm. It takes time, so you don't want them to break it and rest someone. So I don't really think so. South Africa would want to experiment with something. Plus, at the same time, I feel if India goes with the same combination of five bowlers, that is where the concern will be. Because if one of the bowler bleeds runs, how are they going to control the innings is something which is going to be really, really difficult, I feel.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned India's bowling, and there are two people, of course, come to mind. There's Pooja and, of course, Neerana, who've been amongst the wickets. They're in the top three, I think, in terms of wickets, respectively, behind Sophie Eccleston, I think, if my memory serves me right. But having said that, let's now just take 2 minutes to reflect on this Indian campaign so far. Three victories, three defeats. It's been a roller coaster of a ride so far. What's been the bright sparks? What's been the disappointments, according to you, so far, watching from back home?
Um, well, it feels really good when they put up score on board. You kind of feel very confident watching the game. You feel that things are working out really well. So those big games or the games they won is the games where they put good score on board. So that is something which is, I feel, very important in the South Africa game as well. You need to put runs on the board. That is when you can expect things to happen when you're bowling. But that has been the main concern as well. Like if one wicket falls, there's a cluster of wicket falling. And that is something I think India needs to look into, and probably rethink their strategy when there's a fall of wicket. Probably give yourself enough time on the field, work to build on a partnership, so that there is no clusters of wicket falling. I think that is something they need to address, and I'm sure they'll be working towards it.